This is everything you need to know about the tyres in F1. The softs, mediums, hards, wet, intermediate, compound, don't worry, we got you covered. So Pirelli supply all the tyres to all the teams, and there are 5 different types of tyre that we could see at any one track. The C1, which is the hardest, and the C5, which is the softest. So we could see any of these different 5 at any of the different tracks. Now, on actual race day, you're only going to see 3 different types of tyre. The first is the soft tyre, and we know it's the soft tyre because it's red around the outside. This is the quickest tyre on the day, but it runs for the shortest amount of laps. The degradation on the tyre is going to be much higher. Now, degradation essentially means that the tyre is going to get worn out and then go much slower. The second tyre is the medium. This has a yellow ring around it. Now, this isn't quite as quick as the soft red tyre, but it does last for a lot longer. The degradation on the tyre is not as high. And then the third tyre that we're going to see is the hard tyre. This is a white ring around the outside, and this lasts for by far the longest amount of time, but it is nowhere near as quick as the soft or the medium tyre. The soft, medium and hard tyres are what called slicks. They have no tread in them. So if it starts to rain, the cars are just going to slip right off the track. So there are 2 different types of tyre for wet weather. We have the intermediates, which has a green ring around it, which is for a little bit of light rain. And then the full wet weather tyres, which have a blue ring around, obviously, because water is blue, right? There's loads of different strategies that teams will use within a race. So, for example, if we see a safety car and there's only 10 laps left, you might see some cars that are a little bit further back down the grid risk it coming in, putting on the soft tyres so they can absolutely blitz it for 10 laps and hope to get up to the front. Equally, you might have teams that decide to go out on the hard tyre at the beginning of the race and stay out for as many laps as possible. This will mean that they're on the track for longer and will have what we call track position over the teams that pit earlier within the race. So why don't teams just go out on the soft tyre and then change to the soft tyre again and change to the soft tyre again? Well, even though it is the quickest, the teams are obliged to run at least 2 different types of tyre compounds. So you could start on the hard and then go to the soft, or start on the medium and go to the hard. Whichever way you want to do it is fine. But all the teams are trying to figure out what the other teams are doing so they can have a little bit of an advantage on them. If you stay out a little bit longer or come into pit quicker, and by the way, when we're talking about pit stops, changing 4 tyres can sometimes take less than 2 seconds. So we really are talking about thousandths of a seconds to save here that can win or lose you a race. So it's all going to be very, very tight, and they're all trying to figure out the best strategy with their tyres. It's pretty obvious that when it rains, we know that there's going to be some drama on the track. But the best moments for me in F1 are when it has been raining and it starts to stop. And all the teams have to decide how quickly they're going to come in, pit, take off those wet tyres, and then go onto the slick tyres, the softs, the mediums, or the hards. Because those wet tyres, they have tread in them, so they are so much slower. And if the track dries quite quickly and you've got somebody up the front that's decided to stay out on the wets for 1 or 2 laps longer, their race can be absolutely destroyed by somebody on the slicks. But it's a difficult line to tread, because if you decide to come in and it's still a little bit wet and you put those slick tyres on, those hard tyres, your race could literally be over because you could skid off the track and that could be the end. So whenever we have the rain in F1, you know it's going to be an exciting race simply because of the tyre choices that are going to be made. Alright, so that is a lot of what you need to know about the tyres here in F1. So stay up to date with everything Formula 1 here with us at On Track GP. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you for the next one.